Hi, thanks for joining us today on The Ride. Today is the third and last installment of information that we're making available for the Customer Journey Study. And today I want to take a look at how often we are communicating with customers. And let's take a look at that information right now. One of the very interesting pieces of information we found was that 16% of customers said they've received no contact after purchase from the dealer or the manufacturer, and 8% didn't know if they received it or not. So potentially a quarter of customers claimed that they either didn't receive or couldn't remember receiving any communication from the dealer or the manufacturer. And that's a lot higher than what we would have expected. But is there a benefit if we do contact customers? Well, what we found was on an overall satisfaction scale, if we did contact them, the number was 8.6 out of 10. If we didn't contact them, or if the dealer or the manufacturer didn't contact them, that number dropped to 5.7. So from a best practice standpoint, clearly there's a benefit of communicating with customers right after they've acquired their vehicle. Now, the additional piece of information here is of those who were not contacted, 62% would have liked it. So again, there's a benefit of following up with customers after purchase. What about further out in the ownership cycle? What happens there? Well, what we found was 37% of customers claimed they received no contact during the course of their ownership experience, which is much higher than what we would have expected. Now, of those who weren't contacted, 43% said they would have liked it. Probably the most striking opportunity we uncovered was that for those customers who were either actively shopping for a new vehicle or started thinking about their next purchase, fully 75% or 3/4 said they were not contacted when they were in the market by either the dealer or the manufacturer. So from a sales opportunity standpoint, this number really stood out for us. And what really struck us as well is when we take a look at the end of term sales opportunities and broke it down into categories of actively shopping for a new vehicle or started thinking about my next purchase. I mean, the older vehicles you might expect. But what was amazing is when you take a look at customers who haven't had their vehicles all that long, those in that 1 to 2 year window, 8% said they were actually actively shopping for a new vehicle. And this, I must say, is a replacement vehicle. This is not an addition to the driveway. And 33% said they were starting to think about their next purchase. So those two figures in particular really stood out for us, and we need to, as manufacturers and dealers, be aware of that. So what are some of the conclusions here that we can draw? Well, a couple of things really jump out at us, I think. One is the fact that we go dark as an industry after that honeymoon period. And I've talked about this in other blog postings, and I would argue that there is a real opportunity, a missed opportunity, that we need to exploit. We need to keep in touch with those customers over the course of the ownership experience, but not just by sending them newsletters or anything like that, but the communication needs to be relevant, and the customers need to find value in that communication. So we need to give something back. We need to get information from the customers, yes, but we need to give information back to them as well. But the other thing is, yes, we are research analysts and we need to be aware of that, but we also know the old adage that nothing happens until somebody sells something. So again, I would argue that there is a large portion of our customer base out there that we don't even know whether or not they're in the market or not, whether or not they're either actively looking or at least considering replacing or somehow adding another vehicle to their driveway. So the point is, we need to keep in touch with customers in a meaningful way, and dare I say, from a research perspective, we need to reach out to customers to provide them information that they need when they are actively looking for a vehicle to increase the likelihood of bringing them back to our brand. So I know that's contentious, but I want to know what you think about that. And I hope you've found this information on the customer journey helpful. I'll post the links to some of the other information we've made available. Please feel free to use it, because only by using it can you get value in it. So thanks for joining us today on The Ride, and I hope to see you again very soon.